Hello and welcome to this new section, first lecture on quality assurance in this course on IT product management. So in this section, we will talk to you about how can you provide assurance for your product, quality assurance product, and we will take a look at the first part of that in this lecture. So how would you think you would provide quality assurance for your product if you were a product manager in an IT company? So it basically involves two things as you see on your screen here. It ensures that ensuring that your product meets quality standards. So you must have some standards that the product meets and it is free from critical defects. And the second thing you need to do is to continuously conduct usability testing and gather feedbacks from your customers to make iterative improvements. And that's how you can make sure that your product you provide quality assurance for your product. So the question is, how do you do the first part of ensuring that your product meets quality standards and is free from critical defects? Any thoughts? Okay. So this is an important responsibility of the product manager to provide to ensure that the product meets quality standards and is free from critical defects. And this whole process of or thing of quality assurance should be embedded into every stage of the product development process, right? And how can you do that? Let's take a look at many practices that you can use to ensure that your product meets quality standards and is free from critical defects. The first thing you need to do is to establish clear and measurable quality standards for your product and define what constitutes acceptable quality. And that should include performance, security, usability, and reliability criteria. So define the quality standards, the first. Then you need to work closely with the quality assurance, the QA team from the outset, right from the beginning, right? And you need to involve them in requirement gathering, reviews, design reviews, and sprints planning. So the QA team must be involved at all stages, and you must work with them closely. The third thing you can consider doing is to develop a comprehensive testing strategy. Consider is an understatement. You must do is to develop a comprehensive testing strategy that covers all aspects of the product, including functional, non-functional, and regression testing, right? Now, after having done that, what you need to do is to create detailed test plans. Now, these test plans should outline the test cases, the test scenarios, and acceptance criteria for each feature or user story. See, remember your product is specified by these features and user stories and acceptance criteria. So you need to build your testing around that. And these plans of testing must align with your product requirements that you set right in the beginning. Then you can invest in automated testing frameworks and tools basically to streamline and speed up the testing procedures, especially for repetitive and critical test cases. So automate the testing. Then implement continuous integration and continuous deployment CI/CD pipeline to automate the testing and deployment processes. Automated testing should be integrated into the CI/CD pipeline to catch the defects early so that you can minimize the impact on your business. Then you need to conduct regular regression testing to ensure that the new feature development does not introduce defects in the existing functionality. Very important because you're going to continuously introduce new features. So you need to keep making sure that the new things do not cause problems in your existing functionality. Involve stakeholders and end users in user acceptance test. Basically, to validate that the product meets their expectations and requirements. And this is a very important part of the quality assurance process. And in that, you need to collect and address the feedback that you receive from your users. Perform load testing, variety of testing, load testing, stress testing, scalability testing. Basically, again, to ensure that the product performs well under various conditions, not the only the ideal condition, and can handle the expected user load. And then security testing is important. So conduct security assessments and penetration testing to identify and address vulnerabilities in the product where things can go wrong in terms of security. Include usability testing to ensure that the product is user friendly and aligns with the intended user experience. And continuously implement the monitoring process of the live product to proactively identify and address any issues that come up while interacting with your customers. And this could include performance monitoring, error tracking, and security monitoring. Use a bug tracking system. You could use Jira, Bugzilla to log and prioritize defects as you keep coming across them. Ensure that all critical defects are addressed promptly. So prioritize the critical defects in bug tracking. Encourage regular code reviews among the development team members to catch issues before they impact the product, because coding is still a science as well as an art. So you need to keep doing the regular reviews. Maintain traceability between the defects and the features, what defects are coming from which features and what codes, and work back from your defects level and figure out the root causes and address them. Assess risks related to the quality and critical defects. So do the risk assessment. Develop mitigation plans for identified risks. So when you have your product ready, discuss what could go wrong and then develop plans to avoid those from happening. Maintain clear communication channels with quality assurance team, development teams, and stakeholders. And that's one key job that you have as a product manager. Ensure that defects are well documented and understood by all the parties. Foster a culture of continuous improvement, because your product quality will continue to improve as you keep detecting defects, as well as customer requirements might change. Conduct retrospectives for each release. So once you release the feature, go back and look at it again to identify process improvements and address recurring issues. Another important thing is to do accessibility testing to ensure that product is accessible to users with disabilities by conducting accessibility testing and adhering to those accessibility standards. If applicable, ensure that the product complies with industry specific regulations and legal requirements. And test and validate any third-party integrations for compatibility and security. So by following these practices, you can systematically ensure that your product meets quality requirements at all times and keeps improving and is free from critical defects. And this quality assurance should be integral part of the product development life cycle, right from inception to post-launch monitoring, basically to ensure that you deliver a reliable and satisfying user experience. So having looked at how to ensure that your product meets quality standards and free from critical defect, what do we do next? So in the next lecture, we will look at how to conduct usability testing and gather feedback to make iterative improvements. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on quality assurance in this course on IT product management. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy. And I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. If you have any questions, do feel free to message me. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And if you like to refer to anything that we have talked, go back and download the PDF file and take a look at it to understand what you missed.